Next we are going to discuss another abiotic factor is light. In that first one, plants produce the food through photosynthesis, and it is possible only light, and it is only possible light is the source of energy. Okay, next first point, once again say this: plant produce the food through the process of photosynthesis, and it is possible only the light is the source of energy. So through the process already we discussed in photosynthesis. Photosynthesis means here carbon dioxide and water. So carbon dioxide and water it is present. So in the presence of light and chlorophyll pigment as a result to the formation of glucose. So that means glucose means food material. So main in the light, if the particularly light is available, the plants are, it can be produced in the food only. So that's why the light is the source of energy. Next, many species of small plants. Many species of small plants such as herbs and shrubs. These herbs and shrubs live under a large canopies of trees. These herbs and shrubs live under a large canopies of trees. So how these herbs and shrubs perform the photosynthesis? This large canopy cover, that means large canopy under these herbs and shrubs. That means these herbs and shrubs above it is a large canopy is present. So that's why these herbs and shrubs, how it is perform the photosynthesis? Only it is possible low light conditions only. That means these herbs and shrubs live under a large canopies of trees. Okay, so these herbs and shrubs, they are adapted to photosynthesis low light condition only. It is low light conditions. So why? Because see, large canopy is a very bigger tree. In bigger tree, under this these herbs and shrubs are present. So these herbs and shrubs, they are connected to the photosynthesis low light condition. Low light condition means how? So these trees means particularly each tree between so much of branches are present. These branches between very low light condition that can be transferred into these herbs and shrubs. So as a result, what will happen? This low light condition, these herbs and shrubs that can be perform the photosynthesis. So that is the main light factor these small plants are utilized. Once again, this point, many species such as small plants, that is particularly herbs and shrubs, these herbs and shrubs live under a large canopies of trees, and these plants, these herbs and shrubs that are adapted to photosynthesis under low light conditions only. Next, one more point. Some of the plants are depending upon light. Okay, depending upon light. Depending upon light to meet their photoperiod. To meet their photoperiod requirement for flowering. What is the point? You can see some of the plants depending upon light to meet their photoperiod requirement for flowering. Photoperiod means what? Photoperiod means what? Already first year we discussed it. Some of the plants utilize the light period, that means during the day or night light. So to induce in the flowering. Already first year we discussed short day plants, long day plants. Short day plants, long day plant means, see, this is the plants, this is the critical photoperiod critical photoperiod. So this critical photoperiod above some of the plants inducing the flowering. It is inducing the flowering. Next, critical photoperiod below. Critical photoperiod below. So this critical photoperiod below, the plants, such a light is utilized inducing the flowering. Such a plants we call it is a short day plants. These are long day plants. Once again say short day plants and long day plant means critical photoperiod above the light. Above the light means it is the high light. That means more light utilize these plants. Automatically these plants inducing the flowering. Such a plants we call it is long day plants. Next, some of the plants critical photoperiod below. Below means low light. Low light it can be utilized this plant. So this plants inducing the flowering. Such a plants we call short day plants. And neutral plants also present, already know this. Okay. So depending upon the photoperiod, this plant inducing the flowering. So that's why most of the plant, different types of photoperiods are used. They can inducing the flowering. Okay, this one. Next point. Next, some of the plants, not plant, see, some of the animals particularly, some of the animals depending upon diurnal here diurnal means day and night period, and also seasonal variations in the light intensity, and also photoperiod are the cues. Cues means here indications. Okay, cues for forage and also reproduction and also migratory occurs. See, what is the concept? Some of the animals depending upon diurnal. Diurnal means it is the day and night period. And also seasonal variation in the intensity. Already we discussed what is the seasonal variation in the intensity, and photoperiod, that means light period. So all these conditions are available in the environment for these animals. So animals, all these conditions are available. So for these animals, what is that? The animals, these are the indications of these animals. These, what are the diurnal, seasonal variation in the intensity, photoperiod? These are the indications of these animals. So these animals are, what will you do? So in such a situation, they are forage. Forage means here in such a condition, they are collecting the food. Forage means collecting the food. In these conditions, availability, it is sufficiently present. So the animals in such a condition, these are such a condition, indication for collection of food and reproduction occurs. What are the animals are present? Those animals are reproduction occurs, and such a conditions, there are migratory occurs. Migratory means one place to another place easily move. Okay, so this one is the main point. Next, one more point. See, sun. Actually, the light and temperature, these are mainly comes from sun. That means the light is very close related to the temperature. This light is very close to the temperature. These two are comes from the sun, right? Next, and some of the oceanic organisms, some of the oceanic organisms living under more than 500 meters above. Okay, some of the oceanic organisms live under more than 500 meters above. So the sunlight is penetrated into a maybe particular depth. The sunlight is penetrated a particular depth, maybe 500 below only. So above 500 meters, what are the inhabitants are present? Inhabitant means what are the, in means inside, habitant means what are the living organisms. Okay, above 500 meters, what are the inhabitants, what are the living organisms are present? Those organisms having, there is no experience of light. There is no experience of light. That means 500 meters above the presence of organisms, what about the light? There is no experience. That means these organisms having, what is the light? It is a factor. They don't know such a kind of organisms. That means what is the light? It is present. So don't know such a kind of organisms. That's it. Next, one more point, UV light. UV light is very harmful to the organisms. UV light is very harmful to the some of the organisms. Okay, and also next, one more point, the visible spectrum. Whenever the light is transferred into spectrum, that means in the spectrum, that means it can be divided into different colors. That means visible colors, that means visible colors. Okay, so the visible spectrum, what are the all colors? The all colors are, it is not present in the some of the marine plants. Why? Because these marine plants are living in a different depth areas. So what are the different depth areas are living? Such a organism having, all colors are not available. That's it. Okay, once again see this point, light. Actually the light is produced in the food through the process of photosynthesis, if only if it is possible, only the presence of light. And next point, the herbs and shrubs. The herbs and shrubs living under a large canopies of trees. So these herbs and shrubs, they are especially adapted to the photosynthesis through low light conditions. That means that can be performed the low light conditions. And some of the plants, it is mainly, it is depends upon photoperiod. So depending upon the photoperiod, the plants that can be inducing the flowering. And some of the animals, they are depending upon diurnal conditions and seasonal variation in the intensity photoperiod. Diurnal means it is the day and night periods. Okay, and also seasonal variations, how to form, already we discussed. And photoperiod, that means light period. These are the conditions, availability is present in the environment. So these animals, these conditions are, it is an indication of these animals. So that's why these animals are, what will you do? It can be done, it is the forage and also reproduction and also migration. Okay, here forage means collecting the food. What are the availability? Such a situation, they are collecting the food, and as such a situations, these organisms are, the reproduction occurs and migrating properties, migrating characters. That means one region to another region, that can be transported, and also they are transported. Next, and also one more point, it is the light and temperature. This light and temperature is the main source from, it is the sunlight, that means sun. Okay, and also some of the organisms, they are living in the more than 500 meters above, such a inhabitants. such inhabitants there is experience of light. UV light is more harmful. Okay, so these are the main points of light. And next we are going to discuss is the soil. Okay.